came up at first, Greg got involved. We kind of kept it away. When it came up again, Dan made a request, and then we got the indication that it was being addressed, and we're sure that it was, and I'm sure it was getting addressed in pieces, but 3,000 students, parents, I'm not going to graduate, teachers, it was just getting addressed. Plus, you're only by yourself, so it wasn't getting addressed fast enough. So now we have, seems like the issue with the Maroon Cord and the number of students that may not have enough hours to graduate. So I'll kind of back up again and unpack that for just a sec. Based on what you heard tonight, what actions could you potentially see moving forward, knowing that you guys have kind of discussed this and are well aware of a number of the other issues that are swirling around?
I'm going to try and address a little bit first and then hand it to Renee since she's the actual coordinator. But because of inconsistencies of the previous coordinator, that has been Renee's decision to try and make it very transparent and consistent across the board until she can understand the process. She's had an open door, and she hasn't had anybody really come to her. She has had to go out to people to try and so what are your concerns? And she's gone to them as opposed to them ever coming to her. When you talked about a request in October, it didn't actually make it to Renee and different things like that. Clarification, she actually upped the hours for science camp. John Rivovich, as the previous coordinator, it was 20 hours. And trust me, I got lots of phone calls getting yelled at, why are they not getting 100? I'm not the service coordinator. That's John Rivovich. You can talk to him. And he was firm that he only gave 20 hours tops. So she actually increased it to 30. So just wanted to clarify that. That's been a consistent policy from the previous coordinator. In regards to athletics and a few other things, I've talked to Renee and I said, well, this is why they do it. But because it's been so inconsistent, and John's always talked about, well, if someone can't work at their parents' restaurant to fundraise and have monetary benefit, why should someone else also get that fundraising? And so she's trying to figure out that and try and massage it. And so in a first year, I think she's done an amazing job, but she's had to do it herself. And so she's open to discussion, and that has always been her point, but it doesn't necessarily come at her, and then it's also being attacked. I would like to see a couple things changed, but I mean, as a coach at 16 of my 18 years at the school, I would only give the person service hours for actually being at a game. I would never give them practice because it was more social or they'd sitting. And you don't know what's going on, and you have to trust coach to coach. And unfortunately, over the years, and our previous service coordinator would also comment on this, is that he wouldn't give necessarily manager hours during that because he didn't know how strong the coach was in making them do something. And so because of inconsistency, some people would get hours. Sometimes he would tell the kids, yes, I'll take it, and he would just put it aside. And so they would think it goes in, but they don't actually know that it did. She's being very upfront with them about what is and what isn't, whereas he would just take it and put it aside. And so those are a couple things.